There are two numbers every accounting firm absolutely must measure to understand how effective its marketing is. So in this video I'm going to share with you what those two numbers are and how to measure them. I recently ran a 2-day video marketing workshop for accountants, and over the course of the 2 days I showed accountants how to make videos, and by the end of it they had videos ready to put on their YouTube channel. One of the students on that course, a lady called Dee Garish from Clear Vision, she asked me a really interesting question the other day, and I thought I'd share the answer with you. Dee said, what return on investment are accountants seeing from videos on their YouTube channel? And that's a really interesting question. And I really, there's two parts to that question that I want to talk about. Firstly, return on investment is something that's really important to understand and to measure amongst all of our marketing activities. The question is, how do we do it? And there are those two numbers that we absolutely must know. The first number that we should know is what is the lifetime value of a client for our practice. So let me give you an example to explain what I mean. Let's say, for example, that the average fee you have for each client, on average per client, is £1,000. Each client on average is £1,000. And you can calculate that very easily by taking your total gross recurring fees, take out the special work, and divide it by the number of clients. So let's just say it's £1,000. The second thing we need to know is how long on average does a client stay as a client of your accounting firm? And let's say that's 6 years. So if we multiply those two numbers together, the average fee that a client will pay is £1,000. On average, they'll stay for 6 years. That means, on average, a client will pay you £6,000 over the lifetime. Now, to get the lifetime value, we need to know what the profit is on that £6,000. So let's say for your accounting firm, your total gross recurring fees are covering, a third of them is covering your salary costs, a third of them is covering your other fixed costs, and a third is the profit, which is normal for many accounting firms. In other words, your net profit percentage, or net profit margin, is 33%. So if that's the case, then if your average client is spending £1,000 a year over 6 years, then the profit on that £6,000 is 33%. In other words, £2,000. So that means your lifetime value of a client is £2,000, and that's a really important number, because when you know that, you know how much you can afford to spend to acquire a new client. So let's look at the other number now. The other number you need to know is, what is the cost of acquiring a lead? And it's, once you've got your lifetime value, that's fairly easy to calculate. What you need to do is look at your list of prospects and look at, over time, what percentage of that list of prospects do you convert into clients. So let's say if your list is typically 100 names and addresses, your prospects, and you convert about 10 of those 100, that's a 10% conversion rate. So that means that if your lifetime value of a client is £2,000 and you convert 10% of your leads into clients, then the value of a lead to you is £200. 2,000 times 10%. In other words, if you can acquire 10 leads, then you can expect on average them to turn to one client, which will be worth £2,000 for you. And therefore, what that's telling you is it's worth spending anything up to £200 to acquire a lead. So they're the two numbers you need to know when you know the lifetime value of your client and the cost of a lead, or the value of a sales lead. Then that helps you to measure return on investment. So let's now go back to Dee's question. Dee's question is, what is the return on investment of video marketing? And to measure that, you would need to know how many clients or how many leads you're getting as a direct result of video marketing. Now, one way of doing that, for example, and a way that I use, is I use a lot of my videos to drive traffic, to offer something for free, a copy of my book. And if you've not yet got a copy of my book, Practical Pricing for Accountants, you'll see a link to it on the YouTube channel. Just click on that link and get yourself your free copy of the book. Everybody who gets a free copy of the book, they are a lead for me, and I can then work out what my return investment is on YouTube. And we do this very easily at AVN. What we do is every month we track the number of leads we get, and we know where they come from. We know which of our lead pages they come from, so we know how many leads are coming from YouTube, for example, and we also know what the value of a lead is and what the lifetime value of a customer is. So that's the first part of the answer, really. I said there were two parts of the answer, but there's another part of the answer to answer Dee's question, and that is that it's not just about return investment when it comes to video. You see, the thing about video, which is really important, is it's a great way of raising your brand, raising your credibility as the expert, raising awareness of you and your accounting firm. And that's much, much harder to measure, but nevertheless can be incredibly powerful. You see, when you start doing videos and teaching business owners how to save tax, how to build a more successful business, for example, then you are positioning yourself as an expert. And not many other accounting firms are doing that. So as soon as you start to position yourself as an expert, more businesses will see you as being the accountant they really want to appoint, and that increase in your brand awareness shouldn't be underestimated. So I hope that answers your question, Dee. If you've got any more questions you'd like to ask me, please ask me a question. Put the questions below this video in the comments box, type your question, and what I'll do is I will try and answer your questions as best as I possibly can, and it may well be, if you have a great question like Dee's question, I'll happily do a quick video to tell you what you need to know. Hope you found that valuable. I look forward to seeing you on the next video. And remember, click on the link above this video and you can grab your free copy of my book, Practical Pricing for Accountants. Bye for now.